Hey, good day there. Ranch Gear here. We got another project on the go, another adventure coming to you in the form of a project. Today's project is we're going to do a mirror swap out on this truck. These are my small winter mirrors, I call them. And we're going to get them off of here today, and we're going to put on the big summer tow mirrors. And I do this quite often. In fact, I do this every spring and every fall. And the reason for that is in the wintertime, quite often I park across the street there in that garage, going in through the door on the left-hand side there. And that door is just a little bit narrow. It's an 8-foot door. And these mirrors, these big mirrors, they have a hard time of getting in through that door without bashing them off and wrecking his door. So that's an older couple that lives over there, and they only have one vehicle. So they say, hey, come park in the garage, and everything's good. So in exchange for that, I do their snow for them in the wintertime and help everybody out both ways. So it all works out good, and we do it all around. So now in the springtime, I'm going to put the big ones back on. And it's going to be setting me up for summer for, pulling the boat trailer, pulling a tent trailer, pulling other trailers, and being able to see around everything. So we're going to get into this now. All right, so this is all you need to do this whole job. This job is actually very simple. I can do this in 10 minutes per door, maybe even less than 10 minutes per door, 10 minutes per mirror. I'll have this whole thing. Get your tools out, get the mirrors out, swap them, put all your tools away, you're all done. Less than a half an hour. It's a pretty fast job, actually. And this is all you need. So we got this is a rad hose hook. After you take your clamps off of the rad hose, you slip that in and you spin it around in there to break it free from the connector that it's on the neck on the rad or on the water pump or whatever. Anyway, that comes in handy. It's got a little flat screwdriver, slotted one. This has got a bend in it. Not necessary to have a bend in it. Mine just has a bend in it because I use it for other things. And then I just go with a 1/4-inch drive on a 6-inch extension. That's a 6mm, that's a 8mm, and that's a 10mm. And all shallow sockets are fine. And that's it. That's all that it takes. It's very simple to do this. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is to get this mirror off. We're gonna get in behind here. There's 3 studs in there with nuts on them, but this here is all one piece. This does not come apart here. Some of the old vehicles they did. Here they don't. This is all one piece on the door panel. So we need to take the door panel off, get this whole panel off. But it's very simple, very simple. There's 2. Where is it? Right here. There's 2 screws here, well, one here and one over here. Those are the 6mm. There's a screw, a bolt in behind here. We got to take this little plate off. That's what that little slotted screwdriver is for. The smaller the better in this case. There's a screw in behind this here, a bolt in behind this here. That's where we're going to use that rad hose hook to pop this little plate off. And then the whole thing just lifts up, and you just kind of balance it there a little bit. I'll show you that in a minute. And then we can get at the electrical connector and at the 3 nuts in there. So it's all very simple. All right, so first step in this process is we're going to get that window all the way down so that we don't have any problems with it later on. We can reach through easily. So we're going to get this thing down. And that'll do that. Okay, so we're gonna get these 6mm head screws out of the bottom of this door panel here. course, that one's got to fight it. Oh, there it's gone. Okay. And this one here. So these are very coarse thread. They come out pretty easy. So you got those two. We're going to take these plates off. That plate in there and that plate down there. So this one here can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Sometimes you almost think you're going to break that thing. But I've had this thing on and off, 15 times or 20 times or whatever. Never broke it yet. So what I like to do is I like to hold this open, and then down in here, there's a little slot where you can get this thing up, and you kind of work it up in behind like this and start popping it off. So it can be a little difficult. So we got it in there, and it might take a second or two, might take a minute. Take 10 minutes. All right. This can be, like I said, this one can be a little bit tough sometimes. Okay, there it is, popped off there. So as he's coming out, you can see on this one, there's a tab here, a tab here, and a tab here that need to be released, going into some slots here. Nothing on this side. On this end. So what I did is I went in from here and I came up behind it like this, and I started pulling this off like this. So anyway, so there's the one bolt that we got to get out of there. And just before that, we're going to take this little guy off that's in here. We're going to pry from the back. Change hands here. See if we can get this guy up. If it's going to focus or not. Okay, hang on a second. Let me change hands here. All right, let me get this thing here off of here now. Going to get into here and I'll work up that back edge there, and there it comes now. And we're just going to pop it off like this. Work it up a little bit so it comes loose. And there's the bolt of screw that we want to get after. This little thing here has got these tabs on. There's two on one side, two on the other side, one on the front, and there's not one here. There was never one there that broke off. There just never was one. So this thing is, you could have it in this way, or it could spin around to the other way, or spin around out of focus. It can go either way, but what I do is, just so I remember all the time, I put that little tab there towards the front of the truck, so that next time when I'm trying to pry this thing out of there, I know I got to work in from the back side of it, and I'm not fighting that little tab there. So remove these bolts here now. Again, those are 8mm there. So we can get that one out there. That one sometimes hangs up a little bit sticky in there. Got to pop him out a little bit here. There, got him out. So he's got quite a big flat washer on him. The big flat washer goes in there. This one doesn't have much of a flat washer on it at all. So the big one goes in there. And right there. And now this door panel now, it's all loose. It's ready to come off. So what happens now is there's just a bunch of big plastic hooks that are on the inside of the door panel, and they just drop down into slots in the metal portion of the door. So you just lift it up by about an inch or so, and it's just dangling there. Dangle, dangle. And everything comes with it. So now what you could do is you could go and get yourself a garbage can, a recycling bucket, whatever you got, and put it on the driveway and balance this thing on it or whatever. I usually just pull it over and I just hang it on this thing here. Little metal bracket here. This thing's only going to be hanging here for 2 or 3 minutes. Not like it's hanging there all day long. So I balance it on there, and I leave it at that. So here you can see the big hooks here. There's numerous of them all the way around, and they just go into these slots in the door here. That's what holds the door panel on. So anyway, now we can get over to this stuff here and get at these 3 nuts. So this is an electrical connector here for, you know, positioning your mirror, and for the heated mirror portion of it, this is a lot easier to take apart now than when the mirror is loose and dangling around and everything. So you push in a little tab right here, push that tab in and just pull it straight back, and that's it. Pops right off, and we're good to go on these 3 nuts here now. All right, we'll get these nuts off here. So now I got to go back on something I mentioned there a couple of minutes ago. These nuts are not 10 millimeters. They're actually 11 millimeters. I screwed up on that. Holy man. Anyway, 11 millimeters on there. And you can get on with a shallow socket. No problem at all. Shallow fits just fine. It's deep enough for it. 11 millimeters on that. Sorry. So we're going to spin these off. It's 11, not a 10. How did I do that? Oh, I'm getting old, you know. I can't remember everything. Don't even know what I had for supper last night. Anyway, so we got the 2 bottom ones off. We're gonna go for this here, and I'm gonna leave that on by a couple of threads so that the mirror doesn't fall off and hit the driveway till I run over there and grab it. That's it. And he's off. We'll go and grab a big mirror. All right, this is what it looks like from the outside here. And we'll pass a rag over some of this here and knock off some of this winter debris that's hanging in here, and salt and snow and rust and muck and sand and things. You know, if a guy had a little bit of water or something, he could put it on there and clean it off. Oh well, maybe another day, not today. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go grab a big mirror. All right, got a mirror here. Grabbed one of the nuts. Make sure I got the left side mirror. Anyway, come over here. All right, there you go. See, the electrical connector came through. It's right here. Stick a nut on here. Check for some alignment here. Yeah, it's all good. And that'll do it. It's pretty much as easy as that. I'm going to put these 2 back on there. So you don't want to go crazy on these threads on here, especially in my case there. I'm taking these things, oh, knock the camera over. I'm putting these things on and off and on and off and on and off every year. So I don't want to be monkeying with those threads too much and stretching them and whatever have you, and wind up stripping them someday. So I just give them a good snug. It's all they need, and that's it. It's on there. I'm going to plug this in. So he's plugged in. Take a little strain off of that thing. And now, just before I button everything all up, I do the mirror adjustments here to make sure that everything is still working good. So we're gonna go out and in, up, down. Make sure my LED. Make sure the blinkers are working. And they're working in there. And see, these mirrors got puddle lights in there. And the puddle light's working. You can see it shine on my hand. So everything's good. They're heated as well, but you can't get that heater to come. Well, I guess you probably could if you use the button on the dash. But anyway, I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, we're going to start putting this thing back together now and button it all up. All right, sometimes when you're trying to put this door panel back on and you have to contend with this lock knob here to get through this little piece of trim, that can be kind of a fussy thing. So usually what I do is I reach in from behind and I just pop this thing out just like this, and leaves a nice opening here to get this thing through. As you're dropping it over, it works much better. Just like that. Sometimes he doesn't want to go through there. Make sure he's lifted up. Okay, there it came through. And feel all the way around. Yeah, he's all the way on. And that's it. So, now it's just a matter of, you pop this little guy back in. Make sure it works good. And it's good, put this screw back in with a little plate, put that back on there with that little plate, the two in the bottom underneath, and that's it. It's done. That's how you go about changing the door mirror. So this is I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, it's a F150 2013. I'm sure all the trucks in the Ford lineup are probably similar to this. Whatever you got is going to be a little bit different in some ways, and different years of Fords may be different as well. So anyway, that's how I go about doing this one. And I hope you got something out of this little video here. If you like what I did here, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll keep bringing this kind of stuff to you and make a few more. So I guess that'll wrap it up for this one. Please hit the like and subscribe, and I'm going to move on to the next one. Thanks for watching.